Today, we're going to look at the biggest cash bank robbery ever. It happened on September 13, 1997. Downtown LA was super quiet, and a bank money truck was just driving down the street. These trucks pick up money from different businesses and banks and take it to a central bank with a huge armored safe. At this central bank, a guy named Alan Pace worked. He was one of the best employees there. Everyone liked him because he was really good at his job and also a nice and funny guy. He was in charge of security technology and knew everything about the place. But what his co-workers didn't know was that Alan was a genius when it came to planning a robbery. From his first day on the job, he was thinking about how to steal that big safe. He spent years working there patiently planning for the perfect moment. After years of planning and thinking about all the problems they might face, Alan decided to bring in his 5 best friends to help with the robbery. They'd been friends since they were kids and knew each other's skills really well. Alan knew everything about the center, the cameras, the staff, the security guards, the locked doors, everything. Since he was in charge of security tech, he could take pictures of everything and show his friends. He was super careful and organized, knowing exactly where the cameras couldn't see. The center had the latest security tech, with cameras that could spin around completely. For 5 months, Alan met with his friends every night, sharing all the details to make sure they didn't miss anything. He was really patient and made sure everything was perfect. Everything was going smoothly until September 12th. That day, Alan got a huge shock. He got fired over a joke. He had turned on a friend's car light as a prank, but his coworkers got so mad about it that they reported him to the managers, and Alan got fired just like that. It was a Thursday afternoon, and he was told he couldn't come back to work anymore. Alan was really upset. He had been planning the robbery for years, and now he couldn't get into the building anymore. He realized this was their last chance. He told his friends they had to do it the next day. Friday was perfect because the safe box was always full of money then. Plus, he was in a hurry because the new head of security might change things, ruining his years of planning. Friday night, they got ready for their plan. They started by going to a club, drinking, and dancing. At 11 p.m., they left the club, changed into their gear, armed themselves, put on masks, and headed to the center. They had already rented a big U-Haul truck and drove it there. When they arrived, Eugene, one of Alan's friends, spotted a camera and got worried, but Alan knew the place and the staff so well that he told them not to worry. He knew the guard was always asleep and never checked the cameras at that time. Alan was totally prepared, with all the keys and passwords. He knew the blind spots and moved easily through the center without being seen. His friends followed him, copying his exact path. It was 12:30 in the middle of the night, and Alan knew that was when the guard would head to the center's kitchen to make coffee. Alan and his friend waited there. When the guards arrived, they quietly subdued each one and taped their hands, legs, and mouths. Alan knew which guard had the master keys, so he took them and went into the secure room. This safe wasn't like any regular safe. It had an 18-inch thick steel door that was impenetrable. But surprisingly, it was already open because Friday nights were when the main door was left unlocked for the money truck. Alan didn't even need any tools to open it. The door was just there for the taking. Inside, there were many locked shelves, but Alan had keys to all of them. They only bothered with the shelves holding $20, $50, and $100, leaving the smaller cash. They filled the truck with $18.9 million, which would be about $40 million today. But it wasn't just money that Alan was after. He also wanted the security information. He went into the control room, where he found his old colleague, who was always sleeping. He taped him and gathered all the security details. Alan also knew where the backups were kept, so he grabbed those 2 from a cabinet in a nearby room. They pulled off the biggest cash heist in history successfully. Alan had everything planned out. They went to one of his friend's apartments and stashed the money there. Then, they returned to the club, continuing to drink and dance. They made sure people saw them there on the night of the robbery. They didn't leave until nearly morning. Now they were rich, but they couldn't spend the money without drawing attention. Alan gave each of them $100,000 to spend, keeping the rest hidden in the apartment. Their next move was renting a storage unit to stash the money. The robbery made headlines, and the FBI took charge of the investigation due to its scale. The FBI initially searched for fingerprints but found nothing. The hostages, who were employees, couldn't provide useful information because Alan and his crew were careful. They wore masks, altered their voices, and never used real names. They also removed all camera footage and backups. The big mystery was how the robbers knew where the backups were kept. The FBI suspected an inside job and started investigating the employees. When asked who could have pulled off the heist, they all pointed to Alan Pace. The FBI searched extensively but only found one clue, a rear light cover, from the rented U-Haul truck used by Alan and his friends. However, this lead didn't help much since there were countless trucks in Los Angeles. The FBI then began quietly monitoring Alan for months. They observed he lived with his mother and had no bank accounts. Despite 6 months of surveillance, they found no solid evidence against him. Alan and his friends couldn't resist spending the money any longer. They started buying property, luxury cars, and more. Alan even set up a startup to launder the money. Everything seemed to be going smoothly until one of them made a critical mistake. Eugene made a critical mistake when he used cash from the robbery to buy land, forgetting to remove the money rolling wrap marked from the center's safe box. The real estate agent, suspicious of the large cash payment, called the bank to verify its authenticity, unknowingly triggering the unraveling of the heist. The bank's investigation led to the police, who then involved the FBI upon discovering the cash was from the historic robbery. Eugene was arrested for further questioning. The FBI uncovered more evidence linking Eugene to the crime. He had rented the same truck identified by its rear light cover used during the robbery, and he was a close friend of Alan's. FBI then raided Alan's home and discovered a substantial amount of cash. Unaware that there were 5 members in the group, Eugene cooperated fully with the FBI, revealing every detail of the plan. With Eugene's cooperation, the police began to apprehend each member of the group one by one. Alan received a 24-year prison sentence, while the others got 10 years each. However, a significant mystery remains. The FBI only recovered $7 million of the stolen money, leaving $11 million still hidden. Alan has been in prison since his arrest in 2001 and is due to be released in 2025. The whereabouts of the remaining cash remain unknown. When Alan is released, authorities will closely monitor him to determine what happened to the missing $11 million. The investigation into this unsolved part of the case continues.